Hey guys, I'm coming to you from Napa Valley, California again. I'm here for Acura MDX Type S. I drove it yesterday. I'll give you driving impressions soon. But today I'm also going to the Sonoma Raceway to drive the NSX Type S on the track. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Anyways, as I was driving back to the hotel yesterday, I saw my first ever Polestar vehicle on the road. And as you guys know, maybe you don't, I have a soft spot for the Swedish automakers, Volvo especially, and their sport battery electric vehicle company, Polestar, I don't talk about much. But after seeing one on the streets yesterday and also seeing this new concept just unveiled, we have to talk about this unbelievably beautiful car. Now, this is called the Polestar O2, get it, for oxygen. Concept envisions new age for electric roadsters, supposed to be very similar to a production car. It kind of reminds me of like how Lexus LC500 was so similar to its concept, and then when it got to production, it didn't look that much different. And that's what Polestar is pretty much hinting at here. They said, I wanted to create a concept that I could go ahead and drive the next day. So this fully electric hardtop convertible doesn't have a release date. It doesn't have power or anything like that, but the design was just so stunning. And it is kind of showcasing their new platform, which is going to underpin their Precept sport sedan liftback sort of vehicle is supposed to be coming out in the next few years. This upcoming platform that both of those cars are built on is full aluminum and fully recyclable, which plays right into Volvo and Polestar's sustainability identity. And also the seats, they talk about how the seats are all designed from the ground up to be extremely recyclable. And also at the end of the trailer, they had a few different names, is my guessing, for upcoming vehicles, because they ended with the O2, but there was like a P2 and an N2, maybe an R2 as well. So I don't know why all of them have to have 2 in it. To me, it seemed like a little tease of what could be coming down the hatch in terms of a lineup in the future, and maybe what they're going to name their upcoming vehicles. There's also a drone built into this concept, which doesn't seem to have any functional practicality to it other than maybe capturing B-roll while you're driving so you can post on social media. I'm not quite sure. Anyways, since we're on the topic of electrified Swedish vehicles, we need to also talk about its parent company of Polestar, Volvo. And this is pretty interesting because there is a dealer meeting in Miami for North and South America, and they detailed a roadmap, and this is pretty fun to talk about here. They're introducing 5 new and redesigned EVs and 2 plug-in hybrids over the next few years. Again, Volvo will be fully electric by 2030. The new vehicle onslaught will begin rolling out as early as next year. So 2023, we're supposed to be getting the 3-row battery electric crossover, more than likely called the Embla, has been trademarked. Volvo also let us know that it's not going to follow traditional naming. It's going to be the naming of I think, Norse goddess. So yes, Embla has been trademarked, more than likely 3-row crossover battery electric. It looks like they are hiring and building up the Ridgeville, South Carolina plant, which will also be building the Polestar 3 crossover. If we look over here in the pipeline, Volvo introduced 7 new redesigned models in the next few years. Large crossover, that's probably coming out next year as the Embla. Small crossover, we should be getting a sedan. So the S60 probably is going to be converted into a fully electric vehicle, or at least a counterpart of the S60, and 2 wagon-like activity vehicles, which is amazing to hear because last year it reported that Volvo was killing off the V60 and the V90 here in the United States. It goes on in other parts of the world, and we still get the cross-country variants, which are more like, I don't know, Subaru Wilderness-ish, like Volvo vehicles that are just kind of lifted wagons. But the traditional wagons are gone. So it's good to see that those activity vehicles are probably the battery electric versions of the V60 V90 cross-country vehicles. We'll be getting a redesigned S90 sedan plug-in hybrid. That comes as a complete surprise for me, as sedans are going by the wayside, especially the large sedans. I can't believe their huge sedan is going to make it another generation. And they'll also be giving us a next generation XC90. That was something that I was kind of curious about because they're going to be building the 3-row crossover fully battery electric vehicle in South Carolina. And so we didn't know exactly what the future of the XC90 is, but it looks like they're redesigning it and giving it a plug-in hybrid. Could be plug-in hybrid standard. Don't know yet. And if you want to watch my review on the XC90 plug-in hybrid, go ahead and check that out. I had a lot of fun driving that. They're expecting this expanded lineup to help retailers double their average store throughput to 800 vehicles per year by 2025. That is quite lofty. They're expecting doubling of the sales. They also have extremely lofty goals and expectations for Polestar. I don't know how well that's going to be carried out because there is just going to be so much competition there, but definitely stay tuned because I will be updating you guys as years roll by on how Volvo is doing in terms of their sales expectations here, because they're aiming for the fences here. So the first of the next gen EVs is a full-size crossover that offers a third row and borrows styling cues from the concept Recharge prototype. Volvo expects to sell about 20,000 of the crossover next year. So my guess is it's going to be available early next year, maybe producing 1,000 to 2,000 vehicles per month. And 20,000 is a good amount in my opinion. If you look at the Koreans right now, they're producing about 2,000 per, let's say, the EV6 and Ioniq 5, about 2,000 per month. And it'll be interesting to see how much allocation the BZ4X and Subaru Solterra get here. Of course, you have Tesla Juggernaut, but now their second crossover, the two-row crossover, is supposed to be in between the XC60 and XC90 in terms of size and production. Expectations will be approximately 100,000 vehicles annually, and that's supposed to come in 2025. Yet, in the pipeline still is an all-electric version of the XC60 and a new EV positioned below the XC40 according to Auto Forecast Solutions. So man, they're going to have quite the EV lineup. So their naming looks to be a little confusing going forward, as there's going to be old nameplates as fully electric vehicles, and then you're going to have some fully electric vehicles with human names. Now, the plant in South Carolina has 150,000 vehicle capacity. They're nowhere near that. We know the S60 doesn't sell that particularly well. The plant has 2.3 million square feet, and it will be the first factory to build Volvo's new battery electric vehicles. I mean, that's pretty impressive. None of the European or Chinese plants are going to be building the battery electric vehicles first. It's going to be here in America. That seems to be complete opposite of what a lot of other brands are prioritizing right now. The plant will begin assembling the first of 2 electric crossovers late this year. So again, I was expecting that 3-row crossover to be available early 2023 so they could get that 20,000 units out, which coincides with the production of the Polestar 3. It looks like Austin Russell, who's CEO of Luminar Technologies, was there pitching his technology at this Miami dealer meeting for autonomous driving and LiDAR sensors. It looked like they also showed off a seat that's self-adjustable for safety based on rider height. So you don't need a booster seat in theory for small children. I love that idea. They showed that first in their concept 3-row vehicle that they showed last year. But I'm going to end it there. If you guys enjoyed today's video on Volvo and Polestar, don't typically talk about them. I'm always following them in the background. I know it's not typical Japanese or Korean cars, but I'm going to talk about cars I like. So I'll see you guys down below. Make sure to stay tuned for more Polestar Volvo news. Hopefully some car reviews as well. I've already reviewed a few Volvos on the channel. Fingers crossed I can get some Polestars for review as well. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.